I almost forgot. So this right here is the moment where we're learning how what Destiny's training you to do is more of the activity side of your prospecting, of your presenting, enrolling. That's the sales portion, the activity part of it. Where it comes to quality, now it's okay, what you're actually doing. Is it business that's going to stay on the books? Is it quality business? And the thing about quality is it impacts your pay, your compensation. And so, whether it be direct pay or bonus or your commission account, which we'll get a little bit deeper into as we go through this, but quality and the type of business you write does impact all three buckets of that compensation for you. So if there's any other point in training where you want to learn about how to make more money by just simply doing what you're supposed to do, but making sure you're doing it the right way, now's the time to be having your ears perked, pens up, and getting ready to take notes. Okay, guys. So, what is quality business and what is it actually measuring? So, what we have, we're really measuring first and foremost, like, did we get the business to the customer? So, I want you guys to take your pens out and write there's three measurements of quality. First one is DCN. Second one is a 4-month persistency. And the third one is 13th month persistency. 3 different types of quality measurements: DCN, 4-month persistency, and 13th month persistency. Those are going to be the 3 things that we're going to review today. And the very first one is DCN, and it's really measuring, did we get the business to the customer? So in training today, you guys have probably gone through, or in the last couple weeks, gone through, doing training applications through EAP. EAP stands for electronic application, right? So the EAP is you taking the application, getting their information, putting it on an application. Well, once it is an application, we have to then make sure it issues as a policy. Well, in between it going from an application to it being issued and approved as a policy, there's what's called the underwriting process. So it has to be underwritten. And so that underwriting process really determines whether or not, okay, yes, the customer applied for it, but did we actually get that application to the customer and get it issued to them as a policy? Okay, so D stands for declines, C stands for cancellations, and N stands for not takens. Okay, I'll go over what all these mean in a moment. But the average, company average right now for 2023 was a 9%. And we are right at 9% as a DCN. Okay. Declines, that's really business that should have never been uploaded to home office. So I can't remember. Destiny, have you guys gone over all product training already?
For some people, yes. For some people, no, because it's kind of like a
The
rotation
split,
of
right?
different.
So have we done on health products yet?
For some people, yes. Some people, no.
Got it. Okay, well, how about this?
Yeah.
You guys tell me, there are certain products that a customer can only have one of. They cannot have a duplicate of. Does anybody know a product where someone can only have one of?
You only have one cash cancer, right?
They can only have one cash cancer up to, depends on the state, up to 50,000, or up to, in Georgia, it's 30, and in Florida, it's 50. So yes, that is correct. Or they can only have one cancer endurance policy. So either one of those examples, if somebody goes out and rewrites a cancer endurance on somebody that already has a cancer endurance because they're not using a management report or they're not looking at the Epic policy details, that comes back as a decline. I usually catch those. But the thing is on Monday when it's cut off, I hate to have that conversation where I make the phone call. I'm like, hey, this application can't go. It's going to come back as a decline. And now that agent isn't at bonus threshold to make bonus. So those are the conversations that I really don't like to have when it can easily be eliminated at the point of sale. Okay, by just simply using the tools that Destiny is showing you and guiding you. And a lot of your ADs have already done so. This is kind of like just a reiteration and diving deeper into it, but that's an example of a decline. Cancellations is more of whether it's been canceled by the customer whether they've changed their mind, buyer's remorse, or if it's by home office, it's usually due to something that's been flagged in the underwriting process. So in the underwriting process, does anybody know of a common underwriting requirement that triggers on certain applications? Someone tell me a common underwriting requirement that you've heard of.
Hmm.
Has anybody heard of QAC, quality assurance call?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, yes. So that's a one of our most common underwriting requirements is when a customer is over 50 years old, they take out life insurance, or they answer yes to question number 9 on group term. It is going to flag home office and they have to do what's called a quality assurance call. And so if that call doesn't get completed or we find something in their background with their health or their habits and we amend their application and it doesn't get issued, then it's going to be canceled by home office. Okay, so those are cancellations. You can see the declines is 1% and cancellations is 2%. So it's a very small percentage of what our DCN is. Our biggest, I wouldn't say a problem because we have really good systems put in place, but where the majority of our DCN comes from is not takens. And that simply means that the company never received any money. So this can be two things. This can be the customer gets removed. Let's say on a work site, we close the case and we enroll employees. When they get their first invoice, let's just say an employee leaves the workplace, right? And that employee left, well, they weren't on the invoice, so their initial premium never got paid. That can come back as a not taken. Or let's say we lose entire worksite accounts simply because we tried to go in on an industry that has high turnover, which is a lot of the times that happens, or we don't solidify really well in the presentation process where we get the 125 paperwork. We have a breakdown in communication, right? You may have Mr. Decision Maker, who's the owner, sign the paperwork and he has a co-owner, but we only presented to one of the owners just to try to get through. We got his signature. They get the invoice. And co-owner is like, hey, I wasn't aware of this process. We're not doing it. Cancels the whole entire account. That's an entire account never paying their premiums. And so that entire account comes out back as a not taken. And so both of those are examples of not takens. Both of those can be eliminated by simply just with an entire case. That's just really being clear on that section 125 paperwork on the billing side, knowing everybody's roles. Is everybody on board that has ownership of this business? Who is payroll deducting? Who is going to be paying the invoice every single month? Okay, let's make sure we're delivering deductions on time. And then for the individual people that are coming off of invoices that are not taken, that's just really simply learning of conservation efforts and making sure that we reach out to employees, letting them know, hey, like you can keep your coverage on an individual basis. And so the not takens is by far the biggest bulk of DCN. And so 9% is a really, that's average percent, but for you guys as, raise your hand if you're within your first 3 months with us.
First 3
Okay.
months.
First 3 months. Okay, so that's pretty much everybody that's in training. Okay, so this applies to you. Your direct pay and bonus is impacted by DCN your first 7 months. So go ahead and write that down. Direct pay, bonus, impacted by DCN first 7 months. However, your first 2 months, you're going to be at maximum direct pay and 100% bonus. It's kind of like a grace period, right? We want to make sure that we give you guys time to learn the system, learn scripts, making sure you're understanding the entire process and the totality of what it takes to increase activity, to produce in closing cases and in sales. And so once you get that down packed, then month 3, which it does take a general 2 months to do that. Month 3 is when now you start having quality factors that generate on reports. And then you start looking at, okay, what does my quality look like? How does this impact my pay? But again, your first 2 months, it is at maximum for both direct pay and bonus. And so how uh, DCN is calculated is it kind of adds up, it does add up all the bad stuff, the declines, the cancellations, and the not takens, and it divides it by how much total you've submitted in premium. Okay, and that's how we get that percentage. So let's take a prime example of this specific, let's give this as example, agent A, right? Because I do want to paint another picture of what another agent would look like. So agent A, 200 declines, 200 cancellations, 400 are not taken. That's $800. 800 divided by 10,000 in submitted premium gives you an 8% DCN. Okay, so 8% DCN would be an example of how you get that DCN percentage. Now, if you do have a policy that does come back as a declined, canceled, or not taken, let's say it's $1,000 policy that came back declined, canceled, or not taken, how much clean business do you have to write to get all your bonus? So that's just basically like asking, okay, if something falls off, what should be my goal to outright it to make sure it doesn't impact my pay or my bonus? The answer is going to be 10 times the amount. So the higher the premium on a policy, the more we have to outright it. So that's why every single policy counts, guys. If this 1,000, let's go back to this prime example right here. Someone tell me if this, let's say the $1,000 gets added on to decline. So now we have 1,200 in declines, 200 in cancels. That's 1,400. 400 are not takens. So that's $1,800 worth of bad business divided by 10,000 gives us what percentage? We got any math gurus in the room?
No, Paul again his calculator.
It's the calculator over here.
18%.
18%. There you go. There we
We
go.
should have known that. Wait.
Yeah. Yep. 18%. So we now have example B of an agent. So the first one had 8% and the second one just had one policy of $1,000 come back. It jumps their DCN from 8 to 18%. And I will show you guys momentarily as we get through how the difference of compensation on both of those different agent examples. Okay. So that is DCN. Now, when an agent has been with us for months 8 and beyond, they then switch to persistency. So now that the company knows, okay, yes, this agent knows how to get business to the customer. Now that they've been here with us and they have some tenure, we want to be able to measure, okay, is the business staying on the books? Is it persistent business? So hence the word persistency, 4-month persistency. And persistency, what it's actually doing is it's measuring, and let's go ahead and write this down. Persistency is measuring premium paid 4 months or more. Four months or more. Okay. So in your career, your first 7 months, your comp and direct pay and bonus is being measured on what? DCN or persistency?
What was the
DCN.
question?
That's correct. DCN. The question one more time. As an agent, your first 7 months in your career, your direct pay and bonus is being measured on
DCN.
DCN. And months 8 and beyond, you then switch to persistency. Y'all are picking up what I'm putting down. Yes, yes, yes. Okay. So now we talked about persistency. So the calculation is the exact same as I showed you at DCN, except you're just taking the good business and you're dividing it by everything that's been submitted. Okay. So then, you guys are probably thinking, all right, well, what is this whole entire reason on why we focus on quality? Why does the company measure my compensation as an agent on quality business? Well, if you look here at the screen, you can see here when it comes to us writing a policy, before you guys start trying to like read my screen, I just want you to understand the concept of when an application is written, right? When is our weekly cutoff? Does anybody know when our cutoff is every week for submitting applications?
Monday?
That's
Yeah.
correct. Monday at 4:30, I have to be finished reviewing, approving, or holding any sales for you to, so yet, what's today? Tuesday? Monday was cut off yesterday. On any business uploaded and approved yesterday, when do you get paid on it?
Thursday?
Thursday. Yeah.
Thursday, that's correct. Thursday if it's direct pay, if you're not set up on direct pay yet, Friday on the form of a paper check. So you submitted business on Monday, you get paid on it on Thursday, but you're getting paid on annual premium. So the company is actually giving you a full year's commissions on the assumption that a customer is paying their premiums for a full year. So we advance you pay, assuming that the customer is going to pay for a full year. Hence the terminology AP, which is annual premium. Okay. So by Thursday, let's say take for a whole life policy, we would have paid out 60% for the agent, SA. I haven't even added on here GA, which is a new hierarchy they added in. GA, agency director, agency owner. So now at this point, we've already paid out 130% of just first year premiums, and that doesn't even include home office expenses like marketing, underwriting, printing, and all that stuff. So we've paid out all that in 1 week. We haven't even gotten an initial premium yet, and Liberty National does not make a profit on business until policies pay for at least 24 months. 24 months. Okay, so we have to be able to measure quality to make sure that business is profitable for us as a business. Granted, we are paying commissions based off of annual premium. Okay. So, let me pause right there. Do you guys have any questions so far on what we just went over?
So that's only like at the end of the year?
On
Or
quality?
like if you close a case, that 60, 10, 35, that's divided, or
Say that one more time. If you close the case and
that 60%, 10%, 35 and on, that's split by what you made on that case?
no, you get the commissions, you get your commissions, whatever is commissioned up under you, you get that on that Thursday. So you're getting the full commission of a policy that Thursday. However, that's under the assumption of the entire premiums being paid for a full year.
Okay.
Okay. Yep. So
Cool.
that you get paid that one time upon initial submitting of the application. Now, which leads me to my next point. So there's 3 measurements of quality: DCN, 4-month persistency, and someone tell me the third measurement of quality.
4 months?
So there's
13th.
DCN, 4-month, and then 13th, correct.
13.
So 4-month persistency is going to be premiums that have been paid for 4 months. When it comes to 13th month persistency, that's going to be premiums paid for months 13 and beyond. Paid 13 months and beyond. So one of the biggest reasons why I joined on with Liberty National over 11 years ago was because of the simple fact that I heard the word residual income for the first time. And being with the company for 11 years now, I am reaping the reward of being here long enough to seeing my renewals grow month after month, year after year. I don't do sales. I am the quality manager. So all I focus on that has accumulated my renewals is just conservation, focusing on business that's fallen off the books and I get it back on. And that's just helping grow my renewals. Now, you have other ADs that have phenomenal quality of business. Like we have an AD, Gerald Roberts. his quality has been phenomenal since he's been an agency director for 5 years. He gets just renewals, $750 a week in renewals. And that doesn't even include new sales. And so that when he told me that, I was like, oh my gosh, like that's incredible. When you focus on quality of business, when you realize you take so much time, energy, and effort, gas, prospecting to go out, close cases, and enroll, you want to make sure you're actually writing quality business, because what you don't realize, so a lot of people look for the paycheck this week, but if you're in this for the long haul, guys, like if you really want to ensure that you're building wealth for yourself in this industry, make sure that you're following the ways in the process of writing quality business to guarantee that you're building wealth for the future, the wealth of long-term. And then here's another thing. When you're with the company for 10 years, you're going to be 100% vested. So if you were to pass away, if you were to leave, you were to retire, those renewals will continue to pay out to your children's children. Okay. And that was the reason why I onboarded, and that opportunity that was presented to me is that same opportunity for you guys. So that 13th month persistency is a true measurement of building long-term wealth in the form of renewals. So this right here, what I'm showing you is this is like your initial pay whenever you submit applications on from any enrollments. Where 13th month persistency comes along is now that those customers pay on that 13th month, the 14th month, 15th month, it starts paying you in a renewal every time they make their premium payments. Okay. And so the quality reports, DCN and persistency, get published on the 25th of every month. 25th, everybody write that down. It gets published on the 25th of every month. It's kind of like the gift that keeps on giving to me every month, man. Comes out. It's constant, constant. I sent it out in an email to all of the teams every single month on the, usually it comes out on the 25th. It takes me about a day to compile all these reports and get it in a format to where I can send it out to the teams. And basically you can see here it has DCN persistency, and I also attach a policy detail to kind of give you an idea. Okay, what policies came off that gave me this 8% DCN? What policies didn't pay 4 months or more that gave me this 89% persistency? So it just really helps you see in a I guess a global view on where's my quality standings right now. The two things that I always ask is when you get this email is just to find out what's hurting you that can be fixed. If it can't be fixed, there's always an opportunity to train on it. You know, did I oversell somebody? You know, I really should have held back on that sale, come down a little bit, down sell rather than upselling. You know, did I get a QAC that didn't get completed? Oh, maybe I can go out and get it fixed now. And maybe it can help my quality for next month. So there's always something you can take away from a scenario that may have impacted your quality. Okay. So that report comes out on the 25th of every month. So now there are 5 different ways that quality can impact your pay. And before I go into the 5 different ways, I'm gonna come back here. I want everybody to write this down. I want, let's say put categories of pay. Write down categories of pay. The first one is going to be commission account. Commissions. Second is going to be direct pay. Third is going to be bonus.
What was the first one?
Commissions.
Commissions. Second, direct pay. Third, bonus. Okay. So this is like your immediate, like as a new agent, obviously you're not making renewals yet because you haven't been here for a full year, but this is like you understanding, okay, how can I get paid? These are the different ways that I get paid in my contract. So how do I learn how to maximize each bucket of compensation to where I'm maximizing my pay for me and my family? Okay. So the very first one is chargebacks. The chargebacks is going to go, again, remember we're talking now about the 5 ways that quality impacts your pay. Chargebacks is aligned with commissions. Okay, it goes up under the commission bracket. So let's say, again, remember you get Monday production gets submitted, you get paid on it on Thursday. Let's say a customer, and now is where I can get my little annotation out. Sorry. Let's say a customer pays for their premium for 1 month. How much of a chargeback is it from your commission account?
100%.
100%. Correct. Now let's say a customer pays for 6 months. How much of a
60.
chargeback? Correct, 60%. Now let's say customer pays for 11 months. What's the chargeback percentage?
10.
Okay, what about 12 months? What do you guys think the chargeback percentage would be for 12
Zero.
months? Zero,
Zero.
right? So it's like, okay, light bulb goes off. They've paid for a full year, so they're not going to charge back anything if they don't pay their premiums. Now, here's the flip side. Let's say a customer pays for their premiums on their 13th month and then stops paying. What happens on that 13th month?
I don't know.
We call them, what do we call them?
So on the 13th month and on the 11th month, they take out 10% from your commission account. 12 months, it's 0 chargebacks. Month 13, you're going to get paid a renewal.
100% of the
So
renewal.
now you get paid. However, if they don't pay any further, the renewal just stops.
Okay,
Okay. So now you can see kind of like the opposite of the pendulum, I guess. You know, this is where it's charging back from your commission account. Once you get past 12 months of premiums, now you're getting month 13. If that customer pays, you get a renewal. Month 14, when they pay their premiums, you get a renewal. 15, 16, and so forth. You get renewals every single time that customer makes a payment. If they cancel after 12 months, then all that policy is doing is impacting your renewals. Okay. So that's the first way that quality impacts your pay is through your commission account. Obviously, this is like the negative side of commissions. The positive side of commissions is you actually get to receive a draw from your commission account when your commission account balance is over 3,000. I believe you get a 4% draw when it's 3,000. When you go up to 4,000, it's 6%. When you go over 5,000 of a commission account balance, you get an 8% draw. So that means your goal is to get your commission account past what number?
10,000?
3,000.
Oh.
If you get it beyond,
What happens if you get up to 10,000?
you'll just start getting 8% every single week. And guess what? Here's another thing. If you don't even make a single sale, don't submit a single application and your commission account is 10,000, you're still going to be getting 8% of that commission account every week until it gets down to that 3,000. So that's how people essentially, you can kind of think of it as establishing a base income for yourself, right? Getting that commission account solid to where if you do have, because guys, we're in the sales industry. It is what it is. You're going to have weeks where you have killer weeks. My husband and I, when I was in the fields, my husband and I, 1 week, we got a $20,000 check, him and I combined. We closed a massive account and it was $20,000 and our commission account was, oh my goodness. And then after that killer week that we had, we went 3 weeks where our paycheck was like $200, $150. And then it went back up, obviously, but that goes to show you, like, you know, you can make extremely large amount of money and you're going to have those 2 or 3 weeks where you have a drier week. But because if you're consistently producing, if you're consistently adding money in your commission account, your pay is still going to be paying out if that commission account is larger than 3,000. Okay. So I am moving on. The second way that quality can impact your pay is through direct pay submit advance. Okay, direct pay submits advance. So this is direct pay, and what you're seeing, the chart in front of me, is just DCN. Okay, so it's just showing how DCN is can affect your direct pay. So now this is where I want to talk about the agent A and agent B example. So this is how you read this. First column is DCN. So if an agent has a 8% DCN and their commission account is in the positives, how much direct pay will they be getting for that specific agent?
60%.
60%, that's correct. So if that agent gets 60%, where do you think the 40% goes?
Commission account.
Commission account, yes, you guys got it. Man, y'all are an easy group. Y'all are picking it up, man. Sometimes I gotta pull it out of people. Yes, 60% pays out in direct pay in the form of a check, 40% goes to the commission account. And the reason for that, guys, is, we live in a realistic world. It's not perfect. So you do have customers that sometimes have buyer's remorse. You do have things that do happen in the underwriting process that's out of your control. And so that commission account also serves as like a cushion, I like to say, because there are going to be times where policies fall off. However, my job is to help you, and every system that we have in place and every inspection that we have in place is to make sure we minimize the amount of cancellations and business that gets lost, to help maximize your pay. Okay. And so you can see here, even when the commission account balance, these parentheses right here indicate negative commission account balance. So let's say that was example A. What about example B of an agent that had an 18% DCN? And let's say their commission account balance is a negative $50. So 18%, negative $50. How much direct pay is that agent going to get?
Oh God, that's a lot of math.
40%.
40%. You don't have to manually do it. It's on the screen. It's okay. So 18% DCN, commission account is negative 50, then they're going to get 40% direct pay. And then down here we have 27% gets 0 direct pay. Everything goes into the commission account. Okay. Well, our agency has at a 9%. If at any point in time, ever, it's very few, rare and far in between where we do have people that have 0 direct pay or 0 bonus. There is what's called an exception process. So that goes through upper management. We don't typically do a lot of those just because our agency's quality is fairly, really good. So, but there are those times where there's exceptional cases and those get reviewed by upper management to then be able to extend exceptions to people. And so that is how DCN affects direct pay. And we can also then look here now at persistency. So looking at my annotation, give me a second. Persistency. For somebody that has an 87% or higher, they're going to get full 60% direct pay. Let's say an agent now has an 86% persistency and their commission account balance is negative $2,000. 86 persistency, negative $2,000 gets them how much in direct pay? 30%. Yes, ma'am, you got it. Okay. And anything below 77% is 0. Okay. So the third way, we talked about chargebacks. It's the first way quality can impact your pay. Second way is direct pay. Third way now is bonus. Okay, bonus. So I know this chart kind of looks a little weird, and the reason being is because Home Office has yet to update the quality pay chart for the 2024 changes. So I kind of just blocked out 2023 so you guys don't get confused with so many numbers. But however, DCN on the screen, bonus, DCN, you get if you have a 9% DCN or less, you're always going to be at 100% bonus. If your DCN is at a 10%, you're going to get 90% bonus. If your DCN is a 13 or higher, that's when you're going to get 0% bonus. And a really good goal for a DCN is 6%. So I'd write that down. Goal, 6% DCN. And the reason why is because if you have a lower DCN, it's a really good indicator of what your 4-month persistency is going to look like. Okay. So that's bonus for DCN. When it comes to persistency, oh, I didn't block this one out. I'm sorry, guys. Hang on, I can do it. really quickly. Oh, let me see if I can do it fast. Speedy Gonzalez fast. Boom. Boom. I think that was pretty fast. All right. Okay. So for persistency, now here's where you can actually see quality paying you more in bonus. So anything between my annotation, anything between an 87 and an 89 and gets us 100% bonus. If business is persistent, you're getting it to the customer and they're paying 4 months or more, you could see here now quality, like let's say a 91, company's going to pay 105% bonus. 96, they're going to pay how much in bonus?
1.1.
110%, correct. Now, has anybody worked for a company where they pay you bonus on top of bonus?
No.
And never. I've never. Well, here, man, I love it too, because for my ADs that have phenomenal quality, like your Gerald, Tara, Bree Hyatt, Christina Brady, those teams, if you're under any of those teams, you're in really good hands when it comes to quality of business, because they watch their business like a hawk. And whenever they get from like I know one time Christina went from a 96 and she went down to a 90, I think a 90. So hang on. So she went from here to here. So she was like so mad because her bonus multiplier went from 110 to 105. I know it's like a 0.05 difference, but like when you're looking at it from a month's time frame, week over week, like that 0.5 difference like could measure up to about $1,000 to almost $2,000 depending on how much business you write in a month's time frame. And that's just extra money she was getting just because she was at a high multiplier. So she saw like, oh man, like I missed out on that money. She actually saw how quality is helping maximize her paycheck. She's already working hard, prospecting, closing cases, doing what she's supposed to do. Now she just focuses on her, making sure that it's quality business, and that pays bonus on top of bonus. Okay. And so that is bonus multiplier for persistency. And the oh Lordy, what's going on my screen? Come on. Okay. Second to the last way that quality impacts you is going to be renewals. That's the biggest thing for me. That's the thing that stands out for me more so than anything. I guess now because I have kids and I'm looking more toward the future, but renewals, that's a big thing. Once you get past year 1, you start seeing all the hard work, energy, and effort that you did year 1. Get past your first year, guys. Year 1 is always going to be your hardest year in the field. It's because you're really establishing your clientele. A lot of people, sometimes they just can't see the renewal side because they haven't gotten past the first year. When you get past year 1, it's like a light bulb that goes off, like, man, I got the system down. And my compensation is growing. It's growing even with the fact of renewals. My commission account is stable. And this is where you really maximize and start building wealth for yourself. Okay. And it just grows year over year over year over year. As you're adding on new sales, you're adding on renewals. It just continues to grow. And it's definitely a fruit that just keeps on giving. And I've seen the value in 11 years. And man, I went to school for psychology and started bartending, and never would have thought in my life that I got my master's degree to work in insurance. But I saw the pay, I saw the reward, and here I am 11 years later, and from 23 to now 32, Liberty National has definitely walked with me in every phase of my life. And I'm super grateful for it. So renewals by far has been one of the biggest factors also. Last and not least, the way that quality impacts you is going to be your career track. I know that's not on my screen, but in order for you to be considered in promoting for your next career track as a supervising agent, as an agency director, going up, we want to make sure that you have the capability of training and developing other people, not just to sling a bunch of business around, but to ensure that it is quality business. Okay. And so That is the last way that quality impacts your pay. All right, guys, let me stop and ask for any questions, and then we're going to just fill out this really quickly. I'm going to skim through it, and we are done with training. So you guys can all see my screen here. Make sure I can edit. Let me pause first and see, do you guys have any questions so far?
No.
Okay. Well, that's good. A lot of people usually have a lot of questions because quality can sometimes be confusing, but I'm very glad that you guys were able to pick up what I'm putting down. So going over this worksheet, it's not how much you write, but it's definitely also how much you keep. Okay, so that's the biggest thing for me is you can sling a bunch of business, but if it's not quality business, it's just going to come off and hurt your compensation. And so I always say it's not how much you write, it's how much you keep. Okay, DCN declines, DCN, D stands for what?
Declines.
Decline,
Declines. C stands for
cancellations,
cancellations. And N stands for,
Not
Not taken.
taken.
yeah. You got it. All right. Let's see here. The next one, number 3, new DCN and persistency reports come out on what day of the month?
25th.
25th. Of each month on reports. I send it out via email now. It used to come out on this old antiquated report, but I send it out via email on reports. Let's say via email. Number 4, an agent's direct pay and bonus are impacted for DCN his or her first how many months?
7,
And the rest of his career, their pay is then impacted by what?
Persistency.
Yay, yes. If a $1,000 AP policy was declined, canceled, or not taken, how much business would an agent have to write to get 100% of their bonus?
$10,000.
10,000. Okay. Number 6, example of a 600 DCN premium divided by 10,000 and submitted premium gives us what DCN?
Oh,
600 divided by 10,000.
660.
that'd be
Yeah, 6% DCN. Okay. Number 7, premium issued and paid how many months or longer is
7.
persistency?
8, 4.
8 months
So-
longer.
4,
Wait.
yes,
Eight,
it is 4. That's correct. 4 months or longer. So let me just clarify, because somebody said 7. So your pay is measured on DC in your first 7 months. 8 months or more, you then switch to persistency. That's the time frame of your compensation being measured by quality. But the actual terminology, persistency, what it means is premium that's issued and paid for 4 months. So that's customers paying their premiums at least 4 months or more. Okay. And then $8,800 of issued business and paid 4 months divided by 10,000 is 88%. Yes.
88%.
Yes. Okay. For DCN, I know we had some goals here. I'm just gonna get my little annotator out on this one. For goals for DCN, we should have a goal of 6%. The company average was 9 and no bonus is 13. Persistency, I'm gonna say our goal should be 90. 90 is where we start to receive more than just 100% of bonus. Oh, our agency actually hit 91% this month. We haven't hit that in over a year, which was super awesome. And we actually hit our highest in our category for the agency because I think we're the 3rd largest agency in the company. And so for us to be number 1 in the category for quality of business goes to tell you that our agency values highly quality business. The average, and here's the kicker, the company average was 88%. Okay, so we are definitely above average. And no bonus is going to be 81. Okay. Oh, I love how it just did that. Yes. Okay, and then so number 9, how does quality of business impact your pay? We talked about 5 things. So the first one, does anybody
Charge-
remember the first one? Chargebacks, yes. Second one,
Direct pay, submit advance commissions.
direct pay. Yep. Next one,
DCN.
close
Big bonus.
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 Yeah, bonus. But it was bonus by, there was DCN multiplier and persistency multipliers. Yep. Next one,
Renewals.
renewals. And then the last one, it wasn't on the screen, but I did say career track.
Career track.
Okay, career track, yes. Gotta have good quality in order to get promoted. Okay. All right, guys. Well, that's everything for me. If you guys got any questions later on, feel free to get with your ADs. If they can't answer them, definitely get with me. But
Can
definitely
you scroll that down?
say that again. Scroll it down. I sure can.
Scroll that down.
Second.
Yeah, thank you. All right. Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. You're welcome, guys. If you guys have any more questions, feel free to get with your directors or get with Miss Destiny. Super excited for you guys. And now I just really encourage you to just trust in the process and ensure that everything you do it with quality business. Maximize that pay, guys. And I hope y'all have an awesome, blessed day. Take care. Bye.
See you
And-
later.
Leave.
Yep. Oh, yep. I remembered. I remembered
I was
this
like, don't
time.
leave. Oh, wait, where's Tay?
Yeah, we lost them.
Did she fall off or something?
Probably.
The
You know, their
connection is kinda
connection
bad.
Sucks.
They got bad Wi-Fi down there. Okay.
I say they're above us.
Can you go ahead and share screen now, Destiny, or take over?
Yes. Let me see, share screen. Yeah, I'm good. It's working.
All right, guys. Bye, y'all.
Okay, thank you.